Well, welcome to my show, Trendsetters. I have a young, inspirational trendsetter. At the age of 17, he became a business planner. At age of 17, when people want to enjoy their life, and now he is working with all big people, big companies, and advising them how they can grow in their businesses. That's quite interesting. So let me find out how was his life and how he get into this. Let me first welcome you for my show. My show is Trendsetters, where people think out of the box, and I'm really impressed the way at the young age you're holding a big responsibility in your hand when people want to hang out outside with their friends. So as you were when 17, what makes you to work like this?
So I think Neha, firstly, it's very nice talking to you. I've watched a lot of your conversations.
Thank
very
you.
Insightful.
Thank you.
So generally when someone's 17, I think their first instinct is to go to college, study,
Yeah.
make a few friends and then, have fun with them after college. Grapple with the, adversities of college, as they call it. So I wanted to break the convention. And I've realized very early on that sticking to one thing is only going to close doors for new information to pop inside of you. Right? So I've then started to understand that going out, taking initiative is going to bring in a lot of new learning, a lot of new information. So that's how it all started. When I was 17, I started working with leadership organizations.
Oh.
So these were NGOs. And, these were organizations where there's a certain budget that the organization is working with. And they particularly choose young people so that their projects are, catered to. So it all started off like that. And post working there, that counted in as my work experience.
So you were studying in where? What was your profile, or where were you studying?
So I was studying in an engineering college in Hyderabad. I was an electronics and communication engineer.
Wow.
I think I've gone to college for 25 odd days and then...
Huh? You just went to the college for 25 days?
Yeah.
Are you dropout?
Complete dropout. So I've dropped
You're a
out.
dropout means in the sense you didn't complete your studies or what?
Not at all.
So what's your qualification?
The last credible qualification, paper-wise, is my 12th grade.
Your 12th pass.
Correct.
There was a movie also 12th pass.
Correct.
So I think 12th pass is doing something big. So that 17. Now what's your age right now?
What do you think?
How long you've been working, then I can judge. See, you started your career at 17, right? How long you've been working now?
5.5, 6 years.
So 23, 24, young guy, still a young guy, yeah. You actually pushed 3-4 years, is not a joke.
Yeah. So, and I've always had a penchant for doing things very early on. So my first volunteering experience was when I was 3 years old. So it was a time when I had collected a sum of 152 rupees, going door to door for an old age home. And my first industry internship experience was when I was 12 years old. With Infosys.
With Infosys?
Yeah, so
you did an internship?
Correct. So we were trying to build...
Which segment you were doing it?
The Education and Research Department. So we were trying to build a sports management system. So we would replicate the IPL website. And,
I don't believe this, from where you got this such a talent, man.
Yeah.
You're just, people say work hard. Okay, we have to work hard. Do more of your education, and you proved it like 12 pass, and from your childhood you were getting into all this. So going for outside, roaming around with friends, pubs, parties, वो कुछ भी नहीं किया क्या? You never had all this?
I did, but the kind of understanding that a lot of things tell you as you progress, that your focus has to be unwavered. So you can go to pubs, you can drink, you can dance, and you can do all the things that are fancy, unless your focus is unwavered, right? So if you're focused on one thing, then you're probably spending a good 10-12 hours on that one thing, and then an hour or two of partying does not harm anybody.
And what's your background? Like, from which background you come? People more be excited. Your dad, mom, what family background you're from?
So dad, typical IT background, IT leadership background, and then this was a time when IT was coming in very, very early to India, so probably late 80s, early 90s. So very early IT families of Hyderabad I belong to.
Oh
but
my
it was
God.
completely employment based and all that. My mom is into the business side, so she's a business development manager.
I think her DNA has come. That's
Yeah.
affected you hard.
Yeah, and you know she started working very late. I think it's only been around 10 years, 9-10 years since she started working, and I don't know how she jumps jobs quicker than anybody else.
Oh my.
Jumping jobs meaning you know the coming in of new opportunities is very swift and rapid.
But I am so confused, Sumanth, right?
Yeah.
At 12, you were doing internship, right? Then how was your childhood? Like you were spending more of the time on the book side or you're more of the time on the game side? Because you know, it's you need a lot of work, or it was automatically coming into your mind, okay, I'll go for this. Or somebody was guiding you, or you were following somebody or a role model in your life.
So I'll be very honest. I've not read a single book completely till date. Not a novel, non-fiction, fiction. Not even my textbooks. I think I've completely finished till date. So if
You were going to school, right?
I was going to school.
Pant
School
shop
I was
later.
going to.
Huh?
School I was going
You
to.
thank God you were going to the school.
So,
Okay.
but I think the answer to this is just that if you understand and believe that you are a student for the rest of your life and you are a student always till your last breath, then your doors for knowledge and doors for learning will always be open. The moment you think you've got it all, the moment you think you've graduated from being a student to something else, you're willingly, voluntarily, consciously closing those doors.
And what was the first time you realized, okay, I want to be this? At what age you realized that you want to be in business planning, making big strategies for big companies?
So I think it happened when, so I'll tell you something, even my school projects, school team assignments, I would make DPRs back then. And DPRs are detailed project reports that we do in businesses today. So I would do something close to making a DPR when I was in school, right? So, and that DPR was, of course, not as nuanced as I do today. But I think the approach to, how you approach a project, how you approach the smallest of things, when you go into the business room, when you enter the boardroom, it's the same thing. The fundamentals are always the
You
same.
were always confident guy, I think. You were never scared of facing big people or who are highly educated people.
Never.
So you never have to be submit your background, or not even to tell, okay, I'm this much education, I'm just 12th path, and I'm how you gonna work. I think your ideas somewhere have actually
Correct.
make them work, right?
Correct. So I don't think there was even a single time when somebody has asked me for my resume or my.
I think
certificate
your
or
expression and your ideas have actually kicked very fast, I think.
I mean, touch wood, and I would like it to be that way, and I know it will be that way, there's no question. But yes, I think when your approach is right, then right from your childhood, there is one thing that you always do right, and I think you should just go and.
What was your
follow
first project you got and you did your presentation on your own?
It had to be my school projects.
Okay. And professionally, we talk about the professional company.
Professional company, I think it has to be the internship that I was talking about at Infosys.
Infosys was the first company at the age of 12 when you did the presentation.
Correct. So it
about,
was
okay.
So the sports management system that we had built, we had to present it like we would do it to a client.
Okay.
So if I were working full-time on role in Infosys and a client had approached me and I've made this project with my team, how would I present it to the client is how I've presented on that day. So that was the task at hand. I think that presentation, now when I look back, I of course think that wasn't the best presentation at all, but I think just being there, like you said,
keep growing,
be very confident, and don't be confident about what you don't know. I think if you know something consolidated, fructified, 100%, then I don't think there's any
So now
problem.
how many companies you are giving advices? You're a legal advisor, I must say, a permanent strategy maker. What are the companies you're working on right now? On board, especially you're on the board, right?
Correct. So currently, media and entertainment is one sector I'm in. So we're building an OTT platform. India's first education-only OTT platform. Like, I'm sure every student would find it so much fun to learn on an OTT platform as opposed to books, right?
Oh.
So you won't find movies, you won't find Bollywood, you won't find songs, but you'll find probably documentaries.
Okay.
You'll find interviews with eminent people. So that's one thing we're working on. It's called True Echo Network. And then an AI company called DigiCloud. We're building an AI model that optimizes the range of electric vehicles. So I think electric vehicles, the biggest problem is the range. How many cities can you travel with one charge? It's less than one city, right? Or 1.5 cities. So we're using AI to optimize power consumption. So that
these are your present projects.
Correct. So less power is consumed, and the range, is optimized, and you get more range. So we've achieved like 30-35% increase in range.
Wow.
Just in terms of kilometers with the initial trials, right? And then animal welfare is one of the.
How many
sectors
projects you're handling right now? Numbers. Give me the numbers.
Has to be 10 plus.
My God, great, yeah. Good going.
And if I have to include the social projects also, and I also work in the social sector.
You were saying some Swiggy and others also, big brands also you're associated.
Yeah, so we're working on Prime Desk,
which
is like an aggregator for co-working spaces in Hyderabad.
Okay.
Right, so that's one of the things we're working on.
So you're working from T-Hub, like you have taken an office, or like you have
all the companies that I work in T-Hub have offices, so this
so
is like
for them also you are the advisor.
For the startups in T-Hub, yes, all of them have offices. So this is my my second home.
Oh, second home.
Yeah.
So you are like basically I can say business founder or business giving strategies for the startups also, right?
Correct.
So,
primarily startups, yeah.
So I mean, you be here, the T-Hub having an advantage of you, and you advise the upcoming people. Like you do counseling type, is it like that?
So I get onboarded on a very long-term basis.
Okay, you give them a plan and strategy, everything.
Correct, and I sit with them and I stay with them for years.
Okay.
Because a lot of changes that you bring in take months or sometimes years to show you even an inkling of result, right? So I have to stay there with them, see them through that process for a very long time in order to actually see if it's working, and if it's not, to make some tweaks, to close some leakages. It really takes my time to...
it's all natural. There was no study background, like a professional course we always do, right?
Professional course never.
I mean, yourself I'm asking, we all go...
Course there is.
If you have to become a doctor, you have to do a doctorate. You have to become a journalist, you have to do a mass communication. So, I mean, there was no professional degree nothing. It just comes to you.
Yeah, but I don't think this requires a professional degree. So, there are certain areas of work that definitely require a professional degree. I'm sure you and I don't go to doctors that don't have a degree. We wouldn't choose to go to a doctor that hasn't studied medicine, right? We wouldn't choose to get our buildings constructed by engineers who've not studied.
But if we get the right medicine and we get well at the right time, I think that works more, right?
It does, but those are abstracts. Working or not is the result, right?
Yes.
So you can never really bet
on the result. Main is result.
You can really never work on or bet on the result. But there are certain areas of work that you don't really require a professional degree.
What was your first salary you withdraw? At what age?
First salary has to be, when I started working itself, 17. It was a sum of 3,000 rupees for...
per month, per day, per hour?
A 10-day project.
10 days project, you got 3,000?
Yeah. So that was my first check.
Wow. And now it goes to from 3,000 journey to...
Now, I mean...
These people can associate with you and say, okay, yes, we can also be...
If you're saying net worth, and net worth is asset value, right? It's not a real bank value. Net worth goes up. I think I can tell you a good 7-8 digit number. But that's net worth, that's asset value.
How much? Like in 5 years, like working 3-4 years, how much you have made till now? From 3,000 journey, your first check.
I can say an 8-digit number.
Very good, very good. I think you keep going now. I mean, this is just a starting. So, I mean, in 3-4 years, you just, what we work hard for 10 years, 20 years, you got it into your 3-4 years of plan.
Yeah, I mean, so when somebody says this, there is a lot of discounting of effort put in, sector-wise or focus-wise, right? So a tea seller, for example, even if he makes just 1,000 rupees in a day, those 1,000 rupees are made out of a very stringent process that he follows on a daily basis. So counting that achievement, I think it kind of evens out all our efforts and it makes them as...
I think it's all about smart working.
Yeah, I think they're as diligent, they are as professional as we are. They just don't sit in AC rooms, make presentations about how they make tea. But I think if you ask them how to make tea, they'll tell you 1,000 ways of making tea. And that is a more advanced, more stringent, more nuanced A1 professional process compared to ours.
Really?
So everybody in that sense is as good, as capable, and all of that. So the asset value is probably one of the indicators, but there's 99 other indicators that a lot of us win.
Sumanth, I must say, youngsters like you are making us proud. You're just coming out of the barrier, going out of the boundaries. It's really great. What message you would like to give all the youngsters who can be a part of like you and actually it creates better society for us? It's really a great initiative what you're doing. Obviously, you are much talented. I can see that. So what your personal advice is who are actually looking forward to come out?
So I think this is one thing I tell a lot of people is convention is great. Being conventional has always worked and has worked for centuries. So to choose the conventional route is not going to do a lot of damage to you. But as long as you're conventional, I think you're only going to repeat what has already been done. You're not going to contribute to the creative element or the creative side of mankind, right? The moment you try and pivot to something unconventional, there is a lot of uncertainty on what you can achieve or how much you can achieve. But in case you do, in case it's a catch, whatever you achieve is going to be first of its kind.
Yes.
And it's going to be, you're going to be the first person who's done it.
Wow.
So that virtue is a greater virtue compared to, following the conventional route, which is very important. But in terms of virtue, I think this has got a lot more value. I mean, we are very close to curing cancer today.
Yes.
I don't think we would have gotten to this place if everybody had chosen to follow convention, repeat the same medicine, study the same medicines, go to college, study textbooks, write exams, go and treat people, right? But if we're curing cancer today, you can imagine how much that's doing to mankind.
I know.
Right? So whenever a new invention, new innovation comes in, it's always been done by people who've broken convention.
Wow,
So
gone out of the boundary.
So that's the only message I'll give.
Suman, it was wonderful talking to you. Thank you so much. I think we'll have more of the series with you. We're going to explore more about you, but really it was a trend-setting example.
Absolutely.
Age is not the bar, it's the brain,
Absolutely.
right?
It's lovely talking to you also,
No.
and I will probably look to get you to meet some of the
We'll do
startups
that.
I work with,
Yes.
and you can interact with them. try
We
and
are
understand
doing
how
that,
they do
and we really wanted to support all the startups. It's really our India should grow, and they are going to the higher level, next level.
We are going to the good.
Yes.
We've gone to the moon, we've gone to
Yes,
the Mars.
yes. It's
We're
just
going to the sun now.
Sky. Sky is our limit
And
for
I think
us.
another galaxy is on the way.
Great
Thank you so
job.
much, Neha.
Thank you, Suman, talking
Wonderful
to us.
talking to you.
So it was inspirational talking to Suman. Age is not the bar, only brain works. For more updates, keep watching iDream.